All righty. New setting tonight. Good evening, everyone. It is Anthony. Oh, that's creating such a glare. First and foremost, we'd like to thank all who are taking the time out to listen to this call, whether it be in a replay or if you're hopping on live with us this evening. We're always appreciative of you guys taking time out of your busy schedule to have time with us. As you can notice, my partner in crime is not here with me tonight, so bear with me again. I think I've worked out a lot of the kinks as far as the recording issues that we were having, but this is still a work in progress. So you guys I'll try to do the best I can and continue just to share my information and nuggets that I have to help you guys as you want to grow your business. So continuing on, Dana and I, over the past few weeks, let me see if I can adjust this just a little bit. There we go. Dana and I, over the past few weeks, have been really talking about the Gameplan Bootcamp. Sarah Harnish's book, who is an amazing diamond leader. We've used a lot of her system in implementing it in our team between Dana and I. And so we're taking the time to share this information with you guys just to make it a little bit easier. If you have not purchased her book or have not read it, I highly recommend it because the information that I'm giving you is just our takeaway from it, or my takeaway, especially on the chapter that I'm going to talk about tonight. But I encourage you to get your own just because you're going to be able to get all the information, but it also does work hand in hand with a workbook. And the workbook is going to help tailor everything to you specifically, because everyone is different, and that's kind of the beauty of this business is working with different personalities, people with different strengths and weaknesses, and that workbook is going to help you plot out step by step what's going to work best for you. So without further ado, let's get into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is talking about Young Living Marketing 101. So for those who have worked with, or I've had the chance to personally work with, they know that Dana deals a lot with the education as far as the oils and products go, and I deal a lot more with the marketing aspect of it. So if you ever have any questions about education, feel free to contact Dana. If you have questions about how to market, feel free to contact myself. But for those who aren't aware, Young Living is a network marketing company. It is a direct sales or multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like sometimes people do get hung up on the fact that it is network marketing. But let me give you just a little bit of information about MLMs or network marketing and why it is such a great business model. I think just from the standpoint of when you're going to the store and you're purchasing products from these different companies, think about who you're supporting. So, if I hate to use McDonald's as let's say Ford car company. If you're purchasing a vehicle, you're no doubt probably supporting the person who owns Ford. You're probably supporting the CEO of that company, who is probably paying for maybe their third house, or paying for whatever other luxuries that has been afforded to them because of the position that they're in. The difference with network marketing and multi-level marketing is the person that owns the business is the CEO. So network marketing works off of relationships. So when people are purchasing products from you, or vice versa, you're actually helping to support that individual to be able to support their business and to assist them in supporting their home. So it just makes sense that if, excuse me, my allergies are bothering me. I'm going to take use my rollerball later. But if you're going to support and use a product anyway, such as Young Living, so if you're using oils and supplements and you're looking to improve your health and wellness anyway, doesn't it make sense to just get involved with or purchase a product from someone that you know, someone that you trust, and someone that you feel comfortable with? I mean, it makes sense to me just because of that relationship. And that's kind of the strength behind network marketing. I think over the years, because of certain companies, network marketing has kind of gotten a bad reputation for being a get-rich-quick scheme, or for being a pyramid scheme, or what some people may call it. And so there are people that have involved in network marketing. I think probably one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to network marketing is when it's presented in a manner that says, hey, this is a way for you to do very, very little effort and to gain a lot financially based off of little effort. And all you have to do is get this person to sign up under you, get that person to sign up under that person, and just continue to build, 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 build. And next thing you know, you're going to wake up rich. I honestly feel like that does our industry a huge disservice, because the reality of network marketing is, even though it is a way to build faster, to build wealth faster, and to be successful in business, and it's a great business model, it does still take work. It does still take dedication, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's very, very different from the structure of a regular job. You're not paid in the amount of time that you spend doing your business. You are paid in your efforts. And so that's a hard concept sometimes for people to grasp, is the simple fact that they're not getting paid just for sitting at their desk and organizing their desk, thinking that they're doing, or showing up to classes with no prospects or nobody who may be interested, not calling anyone, and still expecting to get paid. It just doesn't work that way in network marketing. And so we have to be upfront with that information, that if you're choosing to get involved in a company like Young Living, you are going to work. Granted, that effort is going to be a lot less than you may have to work on your 9 to 5 as far as time goes, especially if you've learned to do income producing activity and you're productive in that time that you have. But the benefits are going to be way, way higher. A lot of people are not going to be financially free or even better off than they are now working their 9 to 5. It's just, there's only so many hours in the day. So you can only make a certain amount of income. The beauty of network marketing is what we call leverage, and being able to duplicate your efforts multiple times over. So Dana and I kind of benefit from it because there are 2 of us who are working our business. So we're actually able to multiply our efforts, which helps to make us a little bit more successful in certain areas. But it doesn't mean that you as a single person, or even if your mate is not supporting you and Young Living, cannot be successful. You just have to work with your team to help duplicate your efforts. People don't reach the higher levels within Young Living without duplicating. So when you're planning things out, as far as doing your classes and showing presentations, meeting with individuals, just ask yourself, is what I'm doing, is it duplicatable? Does this seem like something that if I told someone else, all you have to do is A, B, and C, that they could do that and feel comfortable doing it? I'm starting to get off on a little tangent here, but I honestly just feel like network marketing is a great business model. So in the chapter, it specifically talks about why would you choose a company like Young Living, and I think we've touched upon this before. As you may be aware, those who have done research, Young Living is not the only pure essential oil company out there. And we get this question a lot when people want to make comparisons between Young Living and other oil companies. Are fakes out there? Absolutely, there are fakes. But Young Living, hands down, is the best young essential oil company that we've done our research and that we've seen. And they've been the pioneer for the past 20 semi years, if not longer, in the essential oil industry. And so when you look at a company like that, why not join the best company and use that company to kind of be your sale to help you build a successful network marketing business? I think that's actually absolutely wonderful. And then when you think about it, Young Living has a great product. So Young Living has their product is essential oils. And the nice thing about it is, if we're educating our people, oh, Dana's on the call. Sounds like you might have to turn your volume down on your phone just a little bit. What was I saying? Oh, so if you're educating individuals on how to use their products, how to do what they call replacement buying, um, how to become duplicatable, then they're going to be using, just like you are, they're going to be using their products. The nice thing about that is eventually they run out. So when you have a product like that that's perishable, or that's being used, then they're going to need to buy more, and it's actually going to then give you a great customer to work with. And that's why Dana and I talk so much about why education is so important, because you do want to have educated leaders on your team. You do want to have educated consumers, because a person who is educated and what they're getting themselves involved in is going to purchase product, and they're not going to feel like you're trying to sell them on anything. Just having that education alone allows them to make a decision whether, yes, this is for me, or no, this is not for me. And it allows them not to feel like they're being pushed into something that they're not really comfortable with. Which actually leads very, very nicely into our next subheading in that chapter, which talks about we're not selling oils. So I kind of touched upon this earlier when I was talking about the education factor, but there are some specific things that you can do if you're not necessarily comfortable with people. There are some things that you can do to kind of get them in the frame of mind where they might start looking at what you have to offer them. So Sarah has one of the things that she calls the 3-cabinet challenge, and she talks about it a lot in her classes. She even has a little video that she shows at the beginning of her class. Some of you may have seen the video that Dana and I have made that touches very much on just learning to replace certain products in your home. But I'll tell you what she says. She tells them to go home, flip over the products in any 3 cabinets in their home, and then Google the ingredients. If they don't know what it is, they shouldn't be slathering it on their body or cleaning with it. Then I encourage them to switch to chemical-free essential oils. So that right there is actually pretty interesting, because we're living in a time where people are becoming a little bit more conscious about their health. They are turning things around. They are looking at the labels. If they're anything like me, maybe they might have a hard time parting with some types of products. But just having that education and that information alone on what they're putting on their bodies, how it's affecting their bodies, usually will motivate them to start to look at other alternatives. You have that alternative. So what I would suggest is, if you have your list of 100 names and you have not gone through and contacted those 100 people, issue that challenge to them. Even if you wanted to use like a Facebook post that says, hey, everybody on my friends list, or send it out through Messenger, I am issuing you this challenge. Go to 3 cabinets in your house, turn over 3 products, and Google the ingredients, and then message me back. Something as simple as that will really pique people's interest, and you'd be surprised at the type of results that you can get. Just remember, like Sarah says in the book, she says every oil that they use is a chemical that they're not using. So ultimately, you want to have the goal of helping other individuals. If you come across as being money-driven, and there's nothing wrong with being money-driven, but if you come off as being that it's all about the money and coming off as being pushy, they're going to sense that. So therefore, you have to have some sort of compassion. That's under the subheading of what it takes to share successfully. You need 2 things. You need passion and compassion. Passion for the product, and compassion is about meeting people where they are. So it's about learning to deal with people and learning what they're comfortable with. If you have someone that loves their fast food that they might eat every single day, we don't want to come off as judgmental and say, how can you eat that? Oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? Try my oils instead. They're not going to respond well to that. You have some people that care more about the health of their pets than they do about their own health. Young Living actually has products for pets, or maybe even for children. I know a lot of the sales force and even the market base for Young Living is young moms. Just because I guess something changes when you have children, they're more health conscious, I guess, for the needs of their family. Um, so I say that all just to say that we don't want to necessarily judge a person and try to say what might be most beneficial for them, but meet them where they're at. And that's why having those conversations, staying in touch, building those relationships is so important. Because if there's a need to be filled, you're going to find it just by having conversations with them. That's one of the ways that you can share your business and share this company naturally and organically, and come from a place where you're trying to help another individual, and they're going to sense that. And that's what's going to draw them to this business or draw them to you. It's not necessarily how smart you are, how savvy you are, how much information you have. It's really the compassion that's going to draw them. So the next point I want to talk about is if you're like a huge researcher, we call it analysis paralysis, because sometimes you feel like you need to be or need to have all of the information and be an expert to be able to share effectively. And that's not necessarily true. I am fortunate to have someone like Dana who knows a lot about product and that I can kind of use to have those questions answered. But I do not know everything about oils, neither does Dana, nor is that necessary. Vital 180 has great tools that you can use. It even has PDFs with scripts in them. I even found that out more recently, that it has word for word what to say, which you can show individuals, slideshows, printouts, all of that is available. And that's the beauty of being in a network marketing company. You have people who have been successful before who are saying, here are all the tools for you to be successful in this business. You just have to utilize them. So don't worry about being an expert and knowing everything. Just worry about action and using the tools that have been provided for you. And then one of the other things is that it mentions is if you're not an expert yourself, just refer them to someone who's more knowledgeable. We call that third-party validation. And you would usually edify that individual and say, hey, I'm not sure how to answer that question, or I don't know everything yet. You could even tell them, hey, I just started. I'm not 100% sure, but I know Dana and Anthony, they've been doing this a little bit longer than I have, or I know Leah, who's been doing it longer than them. She might know the information. Let's get her on the phone and let's ask her a question, or let's get them on the phone and see if they can answer that question for you. Use your support system in your upline. They're going to be very, very important to your success, because sometimes we have, maybe we've had bad experiences in the past, or for whatever reason, we have people that love us and they trust us, but they may not trust our decisions. So they might need that third-party validation from someone who might seem a little bit more objective, for them to get their questions answered so they can make their own decision. So if you're not using third-party validation, it might be a great time to start implementing that into to your process, into your business process. After they've gotten the information and been to a class or looked at a presentation, say, hey, do you have any questions? Are you ready to get started? And you can even have your third-party validation help you close. If you feel like you're not a strong closer, you can get them on the phone and ask them if they can help you close out this person so that they can get their kit and get started. Another resource that Sarah talks about for those who are researchers is checking out PubMD. There's a lot of research for people that want to know more about the research that's been done on essential oils and how they can help an individual. If they need that information, tell them feel free to go online and do their research. I know PubMD was one of the ones that she mentioned that she uses, that she found very helpful. So that's pretty much chapter 7, I think that was, in a nutshell. hopefully I was able to give you guys some tidbits. I know Dana hopped on the line. Let me see if she's still there. Dana, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is there anything that you wanted to share with our team before I close out the call this evening?
I think you did a really good job.
Yay. If not, let's talk about dates. Of course, the rally is coming up this Saturday. So if you stay in the Metro Detroit area, rally starts at 1, I believe, correct?
Yeah, 1 to 4. Even if you are not in the Metro Detroit area, just remember these rallies are being done internationally. This is the first time they're being done internationally. So you can actually go sign into your account in your virtual office, go to member services, and you can look up the rallies, the fall rallies, and actually type in your state, and you can find the closest rally to you, because more than likely there is a rally at least within, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or so within where you live.
Yeah. Those are, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but the rallies are great. I know I love them because for me, they're more like mini parties, and I just love that, to be around that energy and have that type of association. So even if you're a person, say that a class has not, like doing classes has not stuck out to you, that doesn't sound like it might be something that you might enjoy, come to a rally because it is totally different. It is an opportunity to associate with people from other teams, to pick their brain, and just to meet everyone that is in our organization within the area or that area that you're in. So I know this is probably about the third or fourth one that I've been a part of, and each time they've just been getting better and better, and we've just enjoyed them. So invite.
Can I add?
Yeah,
I would say too. Again, when you're talking about edifying, people want to know that other people are doing this. So if all they've ever experienced is you with Young Living, they don't realize that it is an international thing. You don't really get to see Seed to Sale and see Young Living as, the company that it is until you're immersed into that atmosphere. So I would also say this is the rallies and things like this, when you have, over 100 people all with the same mindset with Young Living, this is where you want to have your guests. If you have people that have been sitting on the fence and been buying 1 or 2 oils but haven't committed to getting their kit, or you have people that have gotten kits but haven't ordered anything ever again, or people that, regardless in your life that you're trying to connect with, you've been talking, but it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It's so important to have them at these rallies. It's so important because even little things like when you see how many different silvers there are, like our last rally where we had platinum leaders there, we can look at the income disclosure and we can be like, oh, that would be nice. But when you actually have somebody in your midst that's doing it, and it's not just one person, it's not just 2 people, it's really going to edify the business, and it's going to edify the power of the oils.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that hits the nail on the head. That's really the beauty of having a business like this. So, like Dana mentioned, we encourage you guys, use your upline. Use that third-party validation. If you have anyone that is sitting on the fence and they're like, it sounds good, but I'm not 100% sure, third-party validation. Just use it. Just do it like Nike, right? So I think that's it. All right, Dana?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. So we look forward to being in contact with you guys throughout the week, and hopefully, I know we'll see you guys at the rally this weekend, so hopefully we'll get a chance to chat there. But until then, you guys take care, and we'll see you when we talk on next week's call, which will actually be dealing with the makeup of a class, and we'll go through how to actually teach a class. So I know some people will be looking forward to that. But until then, take care. Everyone have a good night.
Bye.